Hello there. This may be touted as another round of austerity just to balance the books, but it is more likely to be the start of eternal austerity. Now, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe and then like and comment below. So what do I mean by eternal austerity? And why wouldn't we just get back to normal after we've got inflation under control? Once we've got the Ukraine thing sorted and inflation down, we'll all be off on holiday and back to consumerism with a bang, won't we? Well, not necessarily. Just look at the past couple of years and how the pandemic and the Ukraine conflict have been used to make your life smaller, less travel, less purchasing power to consume, as well as being bombarded with stories about how your consumption of beef and milk is destroying the planet. And now you have to ration yourself to using less fuel in your car and less fuel to heat your homes due to the increased expense. Now follow that up with a growth-destroying budget here in the UK, which promises to do nothing other than accelerate that decline in your living standards. Now, I've said before that those that wish to use the climate argument to control your lives are ardent fans of inactivity, because inactivity keeps you near your home and consuming less energy. But I hadn't realised that there is a word and a whole theory behind this, and is something the World Economic Forum talks about. And that is the concept of degrowth, which is, of course, the exact opposite of growth. This means the developed countries would have to start consuming less and measuring their existence on well-being instead of on GDP or profits. And this measure of well-being is on the green agenda. The claim here is that the planet can only be sustainable if we all use less of everything. Well, those of us in the developed nations anyway. And on the way we'll be paying climate reparations, of course, to make up for our past crimes of providing power and progress across the world. Degrowth means shrinking the UK economy, with, one assumes, the ultimate aim being every human on Earth having zero negative impact on nature. Otherwise, how could it be sustainable? Hence all the talk about eating beans, insects and fake manufactured foods and not animals, birds or fish, for example. Now, the term degrowth was coined in 1972 by philosopher André Gortz, says the WEF. And it started taking hold after 2000. And we now may be seeing it used as central government policy in the UK. After all, what really are the Sunak-Hunt growth plans for the UK? Is this part of Liz Truss's anti-growth coalition? Now, the European Union has been running conferences on beyond GDP and post-growth for some time, and next year there will be a Beyond Growth 2023 conference. While on the 8th and 9th of December, the European Trade Union Institute is running a Just Transition Beyond Growth meeting. And they say there is a need to question the possibility and desirability of the continued pursuit of economic growth. So it's not just in the UK. And the Daily Sceptic carries an excellent piece on degrowth by Ian Price. As he says, when you look at what is happening in the UK and elsewhere through the degrowth lens, things begin to look ominous. Now, the supporters of degrowth would have you believe that they don't want us all living in caves with only candles for heat and light. No, presumably because living in caves would rob wildlife of its natural habitat, and what would we make the candles from? And how would we build those big factories to produce these fake chemical Frankenstein meats unless we mine for metals and make concrete and the like, all of which takes energy and scarring the earth? And without oil, how do we produce the huge carbon fibre wind turbines? And solar panels are made using energy and various elements from the earth. Surely all that activity would have to cease for real degrowth. Degrowth would inevitably lead to deindustrialisation wherever it was adopted. Degrowth would lead to deprogress. As an example, the UN wants people to reduce their carbon footprints down to 2 tonnes per person per year. But currently in the West we use about 10 tonnes, with those in the US using up to 18 tonnes a year each. So to get down to that 2 or so tonnes would mean everyone having nothing but being happy. Or at least having a sense of well-being. Your international travel would be a thing of history. No personal transport. Clothes made from sustainable natural sources like cotton and bamboo only, which has to be farmed organically and sustainably, of course. No smartphones and no personal computers, no personal TVs. And the BBC did a piece on recycling lithium batteries in January this year, where they said that because they can explode if taken apart incorrectly and are complex items, it is easier and cheaper to mine more lithium than recycle the old batteries. In the eyes of degrowth, I'm sure that would be severely frowned upon. It also said that extracting and processing lithium requires huge amounts of water and energy and has been linked to environmental problems near lithium facilities. Batteries only for the few then. And the 2-ton brigade wax lyrical about how students packed together in university dorms are getting near that 2-ton target. Think about that for a moment. But of course there will always be the elite few who need more space and who need to travel and who need to live alone and need to eat natural foods, etc., etc., etc. These people want to steal your right to your personal growth and ambition. The few selfishly want it all for themselves. They want the battery farming of the world's population. More like Hunger Games than owning nothing and being happy. And finally, when subscribing, please don't forget to press that little bell and also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. And thank you all so much for taking the time to watch the show.